Welcome to this quick tropical update about Tropical Storm Beryl, because it is continuing to deal with some shear and dry air. We were mentioning yesterday that, hey, this thing, it's going to stay a little weak and then strengthen, kind of what everyone has been saying if you've been watching these videos. I'm probably not the only one that you're watching. But yeah, so here's the current look at Hurricane Beryl. The first thing off the bat is the rotation is really broad. It hasn't quite developed a tight circulation. And it is really keep on trying to fight this dry air that is beneath it. So if we pull up the water vapor here, this dark is showing that really dry air. And again, for the rest of this video, remember to heed the warnings of your local officials, everything like that. I'm just kind of trying to show you everything that's going on. Thankfully, the rest of the tropics is quiet at this point because there's a lot of Saharan air in the Atlantic Ocean. We mentioned surge. I'm not sure if we had the surge update yesterday, but 4 to 6 feet now. Galveston, Matagorda Bay, all the way down to Corpus Christi. Now, if you're going to be on the right side of it, obviously these winds are going to be directly ashore. These 2 to 4 feet storm surge values here, that's mainly for today, as the storm has those onshore winds, but as it heads this way, it'll have more of a counterclockwise flow. It will have a counterclockwise flow, and that will push the water kind of away. So it's I think, more of a minimal threat here, a higher threat as you get north towards Galveston and Houston, and that storm surge threat ends further north. The rainfall is a little bit less than I guess I would have said a couple days ago. We're looking at any of these colors right here, if you are colorblind, is 4 to 6 inches. And then right along the coastline can get up to about a foot of rain. And this is the swath from the storm. So it's looking like Mississippi is going to be a little bit better from here as it takes a more northerly track, at least more northerly than what we said it would. And remember, if you are enjoying this video, make sure to give it a like and subscribe, because we are just starting off this channel and we want to keep the momentum going with some other weather stuff that isn't this. We do some fun stuff too, like reacting to weather maps and stuff. But anyway, so here's the tropical storm force winds, very broad rotation, I would say the biggest tropical wind field I've ever seen. But yeah, you have a hurricane warning and the areas in red, and we notice a leftward jog a little bit because it has been just a little bit weaker left than what the models were saying yesterday. So that is, I believe, all we have from the National Hurricane Center. And let's go into the models and let me show you what I am expecting. So the first thing I want to do is go to the latest aircraft recon data. There's currently something in it right now. Notice the winds here. These are below tropical storm force. These are tropical storm force. And it pretty much rode right through the center, so we're dealing with pretty broad rotation here. But it's looking like it's getting itself together. So I gather from here it'll keep on strengthening. And yeah, so that's the wind field. These darker blues are stronger winds. These are lighter winds as you get towards the center. So this thing is trying to wall its eye off a little bit, but it is definitely look like it's going to start strengthening here soon. So there's your aircraft recon data with the minimum center of pressure with 995 millibars. And we're getting consensus here about the track. Now this could still change a little bit, but we're not expecting that to change all too much. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, we can start going like model by model. It took an east shift yesterday, now more of a west shift today. So that's kind of my main takeaways. And now let's look at the models. My favorite thing to do, because we get a better idea about what's specifically going on. So let's see if we can take a thing about the environment. Yeah, so the lower level winds are pushing this way, and the upper level winds are more out of the south to north. So not too much shear. The big story today is the shear is lightening up. Shear is wind direction change with height, and you could see that, hey, it's not really changing too much with height, so the storms will be able to organize pretty quickly, and now all the winds will be out of the south. So this thing, it's not like it's not going to weaken at all. And that's actually a bias sample right there because I moved the storm. Anyway, yeah, so it's going to make landfall. GFS has it strengthening to a hurricane. So this is not a thing where, hey, it's going to remain a tropical storm. The National Hurricane Center still thinks it's going to be a hurricane at landfall, and most of the other models do as well. So at this point, what we're doing is we're monitoring the little wobbles of the storm, and we're looking at these hurricane models to see how it will strengthen. I mean, this HWRF model, this hurricane specific model, all it does is just track hurricanes. It's still showing it's strengthening. And let's see how it initializes the storm, because that's always important. It's showing the storm a little stronger right now than what it actually is, so that is important. This is the forecast out a little bit, but we'll see. So you can see the bands wrapping around. It gets its core rotation, wobbling a little bit, and then heading in. So another thing I look at is is how vertically stacked it is. And notice how the low level rotation right here is still not aligned with its center rotation. It's really going to be the last seconds that matter here, about this last second storm surge, and where it gets the strongest winds here and how strong they actually are. I still think that it could potentially reach a Cat 1 status, or Cat 2 status, like really weak, like right before landfall. Remember, this thing is going to be a strengthening system as it enters as it goes on towards landfall. And that's pretty much it. I want to get you in and out of here. I'll show you probably one more thing with the storm sections. What's stopping it from strengthening, we mentioned its broad rotation. Take a look at how wide that is here, how wide this is. This is vertical, you're looking up and down, and this is the wind field going like into the page here. So that's what it's dealing with now, but this model is showing it tightening right before landfall. It's able to strengthen quickly, but it still has that broad. So I do think its maximum intensity is just a little bit lower than what we're seeing with these models. But remember, subscribe, like if you like this video, and I'll see you later.